We were so drunk we had no other choice but to finish the night at our old hotel room. It was conveniently a lot closer to the club we were at than the atrocious motel room she rented earlier today. It was when she was taking a shower. I noticed something on the ground, a business card or something. I unconsciously took it roughly into my hands and studied it. It was a man's, and on the back it was written, "Call me." Already I was pissed. I didn't know why. She got out of the shower and dressed up. I then instantly confronted her. "What the fuck is this?" She glanced at a piece of paper with no reaction. "I don't know. What is it?" "Don't fuck with me. It's written 'Call me' at the back. Who is he?" "I have no idea." "Henry." I read the name on the card. I noticed a slight reaction of her part. "So you know him?" "Well," she starts off, "there was a man who tried to talk to me while you were buying us a drink. He told me his name was Henry, but I didn't want to talk to him, even less take his cards." Always conveniently while I'm away. "Then what is this then?" I throw the card at her. I don't know. You must have put it inside my coat pocket or something. You know I wouldn't do that, babe. ... I start walking towards the exit. "Tim? Where are you going, Tim?" "None of your business." "No, wait, Tim. You're not thinking of finding that guy, are you?" "And what if I am?" "Yeah, let's find one dude in the whole of Las Vegas, okay? One dude named Henry." She instantly tries to get in between me and the door. Seeing that she can't pass in front of me, she quickly decides to hug me tightly from behind instead. "Get away from me." "No, don't leave me like this. This was supposed to be a night for the both of us." "Don't you understand they're all making fun of you? I can't let..." "I don't care. Let's drink. Let's have sex. Let's have some fun together. That's the only thing that matters to me. Don't you understand that tonight is very important to me?" Is she trying to control me? She is, isn't she? Trying to make me feel as though I'm so important to her. Then, all of a sudden, a thought crossed my mind. There was no logic behind it. The booze must have been at it. Yet, I was so compelled to think it true. Is that why? I asked her as though she knew what I was referring to. Why what? Is that why you rented that other room at the motel? To meet with some other man? That's why you pushed me to drink past my limit all night, eh? Huh? Wait, no, there's no way I would do such a thing. You kept telling me this, but is that even true? You're a prostitute after all, aren't you? I don't even know you. I don't know her. I thought I did, but there's no way such a girl would love such a loser as myself. The moment those words leave my mouth, I see it in her eyes. I see that I've hurt her more than I ever did. Still, her hold on me never weakened, even then. It irritates me to such an extent. I said, "Get off of me." She refuses still, so I shake her off aggressively. The result? She hits her head hard on the right wall next to us and falls to the ground pitiably. I froze stiff. I didn't mean to hurt her. I instantly look back at her to make sure she's okay. "Are you alright?" I need to help her. Those were my thoughts until... I'm fine, thanks. She flashes me a bright smile, even though she looks quite in pain. I have no right to help her. I try again to direct myself to the door, but she gets a hold of my leg in return. "Please, don't go." I try to walk nonetheless, but she puts her everything to it. The thought of shaking her off almost becomes a reality, but then I remembered what I just did. So instead, I just dropped down to the floor and sat right next to her, defeated. She lies her head down on me, as if nothing had ever happened. Yet, I still felt anger. What a kid I am. Later on, I drank a bottle of champagne all by myself and passed out in front of the door, thinking of blocking her way if she ever had a thought of trying to leave. Oh god. Tim, you're such a retard. Something to realize sooner. Man, 12 chapters of this game. 2 hours now. Jesus Christ. The next day, I felt disgusted with myself. Not because I was hungover or anything of the sort. No. The moment my eyes opened, I knew. I knew I did something wrong. I didn't remember all that much, probably the effect of the alcohol, but I knew nonetheless. Why was I always acting so childishly? Even if she did want to see other men, who was I to try and stop her? I knew all along, right? That she's a prostitute. She's been sleeping with men before me and well after me. Yet I am always so... Jealousy is a byproduct of love, or so they say. I should apologize. If I apologize and explain myself, then maybe I can salvage a bit of this relationship we have together. It was only when I laid my eye upon her that I understood. Understood that I went too far. Oh, what the fuck? She was doing something for breakfast. She wasn't the type to cook, so what she was doing was pretty straightforward. But when she turned around to ask me if I wanted eggs with my toast, that's when I noticed. Was I the one who did this to you? She unconsciously touched her forehead by my words and looked down on her feet right after. No, baby, that wasn't you. I remember having pushed her yesterday, but was it really that strongly? On her forehead there was a nasty black mark. On the side of her lips there was a bruise too. And I also noticed that she had difficulty walking, even though she was trying so hard to hide it. Then I remembered those voices inside of me, pushing me, almost pleading to me to destroy her. I went too far. Now I realize it. All of this, we can't go on like this anymore. If we continue even for a night longer, I might really kill her. Even though I brought her here to protect her from them, I now realize that I was the one she should have been protected from. I need to end this. Maybe if I act quickly enough, maybe it isn't too late. Where's your phone? My phone? Why would you need my phone? I need your phone, now. I don't have it with me. It must be with the things we brought to the motel. Then I need to go find it. Wait, we can do that later, right? No, right now. I might not have the courage later, yeah. I reach for my keys, but she embraces me tightly before I do. This actually surprises me enough to lose my balance and fall on the bed. She falls on top of me. She proceeds to kiss every inch of my face without end, every time saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. I need to go. Yet she didn't budge. I love you, I love you, I love you. I decided that this situation would lead us nowhere. I can't show affection. Not now of all times. Not wanting to hurt her any further than I already did, I get up to my feet while lifting her and keeping her close in my arm. It's like a piggyback, but in reverse. She has a face on my chest and I can feel my shirt getting wet from her tears. I have her ass in my hands to support her, and I'm actually kinda happy of the situation since I very much like her ass. I walked her all the way to the car in this position, not minding the breakfast she did for the both of us. She didn't want to let go of me, but everything has an end, doesn't it? The ride to the motel was a silent one. She was looking at the sky, completely devoid of expression. What is happening to her? Is this something she doesn't want me to see at the motel? Not that I mind really. She has every right. I can no longer try to control her. I can no longer. We got out of the car and surprisingly she led the way. She unlocked the door and opened it for me. As soon as we entered, I directed myself to our bags. I took both our phones and walked back to her. Sorry, I need to do something alone. Wait for me here, will you? She didn't answer. She looked at me with those eyes. Those eyes that I almost forgot about. Her darkness met mine. I tried to ignore her and pass by her, but she didn't let me. Move. Say, do you love me? She finally asked it. She never did before, but now she did. I don't have the time for this. Answer me. Do you love me? I said move. I lifted my hand at her mechanically and she didn't cower. She didn't blink. She didn't fear me at all. It didn't work. Well, sure it didn't. It didn't because I would never hit her. Do you love me? I don't have a choice, do I? Yes, I do. A dark smile. Enough to throw your life away from me? Yes. I say so with complete certainty. I see. Her smile disappears. I try to move again, but she blurts out something unexpected the moment I do so. Let's go back to the other hotel room. Let me have one last night. Then you can do whatever you want. Sorry, but I can't. What I'm about to do is because I love you, Cassandra. She bites her lips hard before returning her eyes onto me. She tried, for that she tried, to smile but couldn't, which created this expression in between happiness and complete despair. You said it. You finally said it. My full name. Didn't I ever call her by her full name before? I tried to say something, anything, but she shakes her head from left to right. She opens the door behind her to let me out. ... I walk past her coldly. If only she knew how much I love her, how much I would kill for it, and that's exactly why I must do this. Before leaving her side, she says something to me. Tim, could you go buy me some tampon while you're at it? What? I look back at her. She's regained her smile, as though all of this was just an act. Please? I kinda need it, you know? Can't be helped, I guess. I pass my hand inside of my hair before waving goodbye to her. She doesn't follow suit. She simply looks at me until I turn the corner. What is she? She'll be dead by the time I return, right? A puzzling call. At first I thought of taking the car, but soon decided otherwise. Walking would help me cool off a bit. Or at least that's what I always say. I bought her what she asked of me, though I'm not too sure which ones I should have chosen. Then I looked for a payphone. I didn't want to call directly from her phone, or even mine. If things end up badly, at least we'll still have some options left. Giving us away too easily would be a bad decision of my part. But man, it's harder than I thought finding a payphone in this day and age. I still found one in the end, but it took 10 minutes longer than I first anticipated. I searched in her phone. If I remember correctly, her name should be Fanny. There it is. Fanny, her roommate. She should know the number of her boss. Or maybe, if we're even luckier, she wouldn't have told him yet. I know there's no possible way that we can return home soon enough for her next shift tomorrow, but if I can explain things, then maybe I just need to say to her boss that I'll shoulder her debts. In the end, even though we try to escape, the only thing this man really wants is money. I just need to know how much. Hello? After 3 rings, she answered. Hi, is this Fanny, Cassandra's roommate? Yes, it's me. Who's speaking? Huh? Oh, I'm John, one of her clients. A client? Didn't know she was selling things. No, well, you know, Would you mind giving me the number of her boss? There's something really important I need to talk to him about. Her boss? Who's that? Sorry, but she's not here right now. She told me she was going on a trip to Vegas, and alone on top of it. She could at least invite me. Anyway, you would have a better chance by calling on her phone. Bye. Wait a minute. She told you she was going on a trip? Alone? When? When? I don't know. She sent me a mail Friday night saying she was going somewhere, and another one the day after or something like that. I'm not sure. Friday night. It was the night I took her with me impulsively. To think she had a chance to send a mail. Not that it is impossible. Anyway, if you don't have anything else to ask, I have other things to do, so... Wait, I need to know one last thing. Because the way she talked about it almost seems as if... she's not a fucking prostitute after all. Oh, chapter 14, Her Lie I Try to Believe. That's the name of the game. I don't know why nor when, but when I decided to run, I ran frantically to that motel room. I had this ominous feeling. Why did she lie to me? And how? Her roommate. To my question, she answered me this. What the fuck? Prostitute? Is this some kind of sick joke or something? Sorry, I don't know who you are, but Cass isn't that type of woman, okay? And you won't make me think otherwise. Now if you'll excuse me... Cassandra isn't a prostitute? But that can't be. I've seen her work. She never denied it. Why would she try to make me believe so? I need to speak with her. But how can I even confront her? And why did she lie to me? I feel anger well up inside of me. I know. I'll ignore her until she can't take it anymore. And when she does, I'll force her to tell me everything. The best way to make her suffer without hurting her. She's so dependent on me, she won't even be able to bear it for long. Soon enough, she will tell me everything and then she'll ask me to forgive her. With this way, she always asks me everything. Those eyes, that smile, her lips, everything. I'll accept, of course, but she will feel indebted to me. That's when I'll ask her. That's when I'll ask her too. Why did I try to separate us? I don't understand anything anymore. Why did she lie to me? Why am I this way? Why am I scared? At last, I'm in front of the door. I'm about to open it when I notice something strange. A bag. A plastic bag is enveloping the door's handle. I almost rip it off but stop midway. Maybe there's a reason why it's here. Also, I have no time dealing with something so annoying. I open the door with the bag still on the handle. I look down. I need to ignore her. I need to ignore her. I walk extremely slowly until I'm in the middle of the room. For some reason, I start trembling. That's when something on the table takes up my attention. I reflexively fixate it. What? It seems it started raining. There must have been holes in the shitty ceiling since it started leaking on the table of all places. I'm sorry. I almost hear her, but I don't want to hear her. This is fake. I lie to you. A noise. An annoying noise, as if someone slowly opened and closed a badly oiled door over and over again. But I did love you. I see her move from the corner of my eyes, but I don't want to see it. I must ignore her. I loved that boy who, in 3rd grade, had difficulty running as fast as the others. I loved the courageous little boy who, in front of the whole class, declared he would one day run faster than every one of them. I wanted to encourage that boy, but it seems the means I used to encourage him rubbed him the wrong way. Soon, he became cold to my words, and even to my stares. I realized that the only way to be accepted by that boy was to look at him in the same fashion he did to me. So, soon enough, I learned to hate him as much as he hated me, even though I loved him. So I gave my everything. I wanted to answer that boy's feelings with my own. Soon, he became my whole world. I existed solely to beat him. I existed solely to take things away from him. And for a time, it lasted. But I was noticing it. I was noticing the fact that he was creeping closer and closer to me. Obviously, taking things away from someone means you also accept things to be taken away from you. In less than a year after graduating from elementary school, he was beating me at running. Even though I was running every night, even though I passed most of my weekend practicing, he beat me as if it was nothing. It was extremely frustrating. I was supposed to be happy about it, wasn't I? I mean, wasn't it exactly what I wanted for him? Yet, he became popular, the ace of the basketball team. He was so special. I'm sure he didn't even notice it himself. I was so jealous. But at least I still had something. He was still just a sports person while I was also good at school. Surely, he wouldn't be able to take this away from me. But then he quit basketball. Why? I loved looking at him play so much. Then I realized he was coming for that too. He was coming to take this away from me too. But if he takes it from me, for what reason will he keep on looking at me like he's doing right now? There's none. The moment he takes this away, I will have nothing left to show for myself. This thing that we have together, this rivalry, will no longer exist. I did all I could. I existed solely to beat him after all, and that's exactly what I was trying to do. But there's no way I would actually win. If he sets himself to do something, he will succeed without a shred of a doubt. I foresaw my demise long before it arrived, so before it happened, I tried to shake him off a little. We were in high school by the time, and lots of boys would confess to me. I decided to accept one of them. Though I had no interest, I wanted to see if it would affect him. Because if it did, it means I would still have something. But it didn't. At first I thought it did, but when he approached me, it was for a completely different reason. It was because he beat me in the midterms. He probably didn't want to accept it easily, but he did, and I had completely given up at that point. He didn't even look at me as a woman. He saw me as a wall to escalate. So I did what was the easiest thing to do. I quit school before the next exams to make sure he never takes it completely away from me, before he could escalate the war. Since he thought the other ones didn't count, I will always be the best out of the both of us if I retire now. Or so went my flawed logic. You see, I didn't lie about the fact that my father had a lot of money, but I did lie about the fact that he lost it all. So, not going to school wasn't such a big deal either way. I could become whatever I wanted, but I didn't want to become anything. I kept on looking at the boy from afar. He had graduated and was now a college student. If I hadn't given up, I would have been right next to him, but obviously I wasn't. I had given up in order to fulfill the purpose of my existence. And that purpose, it was still not completed yet. Because I exist solely to take things away from him. It was fairly easy to approach his friend, and the moment I explained my interest of seeing him again, he accepted quite readily. The night went on perfectly as I anticipated. Soon enough I was alone with the boy. He had those eyes. Those same eyes he always had. Sad eyes. I tried the best I could to appeal to him, looking at him mischievously, touching him whenever I could, even tripping for that very purpose. As expected, he finally reacted to it. He was a man after all. I almost had him. Almost. But he refused me still. I had no idea why. Was I not to his liking? Maybe it's because he still hated me. Maybe it's because I looked too pure, because I didn't look like a woman still. For the next 2 years I tried multiple times over to approach him with the excuse of it being a coincidence and whatnot, but every time he would run away from me or completely ignore me, even if I changed the things I wear or the way I'd walked. He never looked at me. I was nothing to his eyes. I almost gave up. Then I noticed that sometimes he would get out of his way to go to a certain bar to meet with one of his clients. A hostess bar. Instantly, I had the idea. Why not? I knew he sometimes came on a Thursday, so as long as I'm able to work on that day, I'll eventually be able to meet with him. And he would no longer be stopped by his guilty conscience, seeing that I'm a hostess of all things. He would surely give in with enough appeal. I wanted him to look at me as a woman. I wanted him to want me. I wanted him to suffer like he made me. So I started working at the bar only on Thursday and wait for him. And contrary to some belief, I could choose if I wanted to lay with a client or not. On the 3rd week he finally came. I noticed him right away, and sure enough I made sure to serve him. I played with my hair, teased him and smiled brightly whenever I could. He finally cracked, and after that night I had him. From then on, it was a piece of cake. He was so gentle, too gentle. That was his downfall. I created a story to go along with the fact that I'm a prostitute in order to stir up compassion from him. And on our 7th meeting, I even beat my own self up to make him react irrationally. That's right, since the very beginning, it was all my fault. I manipulated him, played with him and planned this whole ordeal. I'm so disgusting. Then he brought me to Las Vegas. Every time he would disappear for 1 minute or two, I would start up a conversation with complete strangers. All of this to make him jealous. And it worked more often than not. Then I even dropped a business card on the floor. A fake business card, and he was pissed. He shouted at me and drank himself to sleep. And while he slept, I hit my head on one of the walls. Just so that he could think he's done it himself and feel remorseful. And just now he said it to me. He said that he loved me. I made him love me. A gentle boy, and I exist solely to take things away from him. How horrible I am. Let him wish we never had crossed paths in this world. I took away his job, took away his girlfriend, almost took away his life. Now, let me even take away his love. I crushed the paper in my hand. Frustration like I've never felt before. The rain has now become frantic. I can no longer control it. I look towards her. She's moving ever so slightly. But this movement is out of her control. Because it's the fault of this damn cord. This damn cord which is tied around her neck. There are so many things I need to tell her. So many. But only one comes out of my mouth. You stupid liar. Wow, fuck me. A liar tried to believe. There's not much more I can say about this, other than I guess some of it and some of it hit me really hard. Definitely more impact than Sweetest Monster had on me, but obviously Sweetest Monster was a different category altogether as a game. This is even more fucked up than Incest in my opinion. Or, yeah, I'm sorry if I just spoiled Sweetest Monster for you, but man, fucking Cassandra. Being the disgusting obsessed girl she was. Not showing it though. A lie I try to believe. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. So I just finished it in one sitting just to show you. No save. Fuck me, what a great game, what a great visual novel. If you still don't have enough, just load it up yourself and play it, read it. Look at the sprites, I think the sprites were quite nice. I love Cassandra. I love that she was the only sprite we had in this game even. All others were just silhouettes, right? That's amazing. It's low budget, but still pretty good. Anyway, thank you, and bye.